Hey everybody, Josh here. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about IT, cybersecurity, education, and career things. And again, I'm going to be answering a viewer's question about the Bachelor's of Science Cloud Computing versus the Bachelor's of Science in Cybersecurity Information Assurance degrees from WGU. And as usual, before we get started, please consider following me on Instagram. I promise I'll try to post a lot of nice, interesting content on there if you want to see my daily life outside of talking about computers. I'm currently living abroad in Japan, posting a lot of interesting food and cool stuff there, so check that out. So back to the video. I got this comment on a video where I was comparing two different degrees from WGU. Basically, they say, do you already have one of these comparison videos for the cybersecurity and the cloud computing degrees? If not, that would be a really awesome video to make. A couple people liked it, so I thought I would go ahead and make this video. And if you don't already know, all these degrees, they're from WGU. It's from an online accredited university. Basically, you pay for 6 months at a time and you're allowed to complete as many classes in that time period as you want. I would consider checking out this video. I go in pretty good depth on it. I have a lot of videos on my channel. It's a really good way to get a nice affordable bachelor's degree. And I'm not sponsored by them yet, by the way. I just think they are really good. So getting right into the content here, I'm just kind of explain this a little bit. I know this spreadsheet is a little bit noisy. Actually, there's no master's degree in this comparison, so I will go ahead and delete that. So this will take a little bit of explaining here. So the first two columns, these are for the bachelor's degree. The second two columns, these are for the cybersecurity degree. And basically the metrics we're going to be using to compare them, we're going to be comparing cost, time, and then the job hits on Indeed based on the certs that are in those particular degrees. So basically, I'll kind of explain these. The first column, this is the cloud computing degree. This is assuming you take 5 terms to complete the degree and you don't actually transfer any credits in. Each term for this degree, it's a bit over, I think it was a bit over $3,500 per term. So that's per 6-month time period. And assuming that you're able to complete 8 classes per term, that's pretty realistic. A lot of people can do it much faster. I can do it much faster, but this is generally kind of a realistic expectation. Maybe 8 classes per term. It's going to cost you just under $19,000. And this is assuming you don't transfer any credits in from study.com. It costs you about $19,000. Probably take about 2.5 years. That's 5 terms. These are the certifications that you'll get coming out of that degree. And the numbers next to them are kind of the score. I just searched Indeed for all the individual certifications. And the number is how many jobs that cert had. So I kind of totaled all of these up, and the Bachelor's of Science Cloud Computing had a score of 20,000 in terms of the certs. And I didn't include ITIL, but it's there. It's just a large number. All of the degrees had it, so I just didn't include it in the calculations. The second column is the exact same thing, except for instead of doing all the courses at WGU, I calculated how much it would be if you did as many as you could from study.com and then transfer them into the WGU program. So if you click on this, it will bring you to this kind of study.com transfer sheet. It will take you to the study.com transfer sheet. And this column here, these are all the classes that are in the actual WGU degree. And this column is the classes that you can actually complete from study.com and transfer them into the degree to kind of make it cheaper. And the idea behind this is study.com is way cheaper than WGU in terms of your average monthly cost. Especially if you use this discount code, Josh Madakor, save 30% on the first 3 months, which is $60 per month, which is a decent amount to save. So assuming you did all of these courses at study.com and transfer them in, it would look something like this. And then after you transfer them in, you only have this many courses left, which is 22 courses left to complete at WGU. And it just kind of reduces your cost quite a bit. I made this video on study.com. Check it out. It goes in depth on how to transfer the credits in and what your transcript looks like and all that stuff. So definitely check it out. You can save quite a bit of money doing that. Same thing, if you transfer them in from study.com, instead of it being about $19,000, it's going to be just under $14,000. It's a decent savings, a bit over $5,000 when you utilize study.com, and possibly you'll even finish it quicker. So cert score 20,000. This is the Bachelor's of Science Cybersecurity from WGU, exact same thing. It looks like the cost is the same. I thought it might be a little bit more, but same thing, assuming you take 8 courses per term and you take 5 terms to graduate. If you don't use study.com, it'll be about $19,000. Same thing, 2.5 years. Slightly lower certification score for the cyber degree, just because the certs that I did have had less job hits. Same thing, Bachelor of Science Cybersecurity. If you transfer in as many courses as you can from study.com, it ends up being slightly under $14,000, which is about $5,000 savings over the course of the degree. Super, super useful. I would recommend doing this if you want to get a degree from WGU. I've used study.com myself. A lot of people I know have used it, and it's pretty useful. Same thing. This is the same thing except for with the cybersecurity degree. This column here is all the possible transfers that you can do from study.com. If you select the blanks, you only have this many courses left. Ends up being 15 courses actually, which is less. Actually, this is quite a bit less than the cloud computing degree. So actually, this is going to be something like 3 terms, 3,600. This is going to be 2 terms. It's going to be something like this. It looks like you can do quite a bit more classes at study.com for the cyber degree. Actually, I did a bad calculation before. Again, the cyber degree is going to be cheaper if you utilize study.com, but the actual certification score is going to be slightly less. And you can actually satisfy Project Plus from study.com. So I kind of crossed it out here, and I kind of decreased the certification score here. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. Like to answer the question, like, do you want to work in cloud support engineering or cloud, or do you want to work in cybersecurity? And to be honest, arguably, like even if you want to work in cybersecurity, there's so many security aspects in cloud. Not to mention, you're going to learn a bunch of security concepts within these certifications and within the cloud curriculum as well. It even has Security Plus. So even if you want to work in cybersecurity, the cloud track might be a better option for you, just because the certs, in my opinion, are so much better in this track. Also, I will say it's way easier to start working in cloud and IT in general than it is cybersecurity. Usually what happens is you end up working in IT first in some capacity, and you get some exposure, and then you kind of transition into cybersecurity if you want to. So generally speaking, the cloud computing degree is probably a better bet, to be honest, though it just really depends on what you like. If you're like super in love with security and you really want to work in a SOC, for example, like a security operations center, it's possible the cybersecurity degree might be better because it has the CISSP, like I think that's cybersecurity, oh my gosh, I forget what this acronym stands for. It's like the CompTIA cybersecurity analyst certification, as well as the SSCP. Maybe you're just like super in love with cyber and you want to get a cheaper one. Maybe this is better, but if it were me and I was brand new, to be honest, I would just get the Azure track, because cloud is so awesome and you can do so many things in it, and you can just, I don't know, it's just really good. I enjoy working in cloud. My personal job is like a mixture between cybersecurity, cloud, and the kind of software engineering, and I really enjoy the cloud aspect of it. So it's really hard to say which one, but hopefully you can take this information and kind of make your own decision on it based on the breakdown here. And I will say, don't forget to use the study.com discount code. It's a decent amount of savings, like $60 off for your first 3 months. It's pretty good. Yeah. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comments, or if there are any other videos you want me to make where I'm breaking down things like this. Just, let me know, and I'll more than likely make it in the future. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I promise I will try not to post bad content on there. I'm trying to grow my Instagram a bit, so follow me there. Super, super appreciate it a lot, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.